All right, welcome to this edition of the Native News Update. I'm your host for today's program, Paul Demain. Many of the stories and information here can also be found at our website at www.indiancountrynews.com, where your online membership or donation helps support this television station. Here's some of the stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native American news sources. Police have released the names of a woman fatally stabbed on the Keweenaw Bay Indian Reservation last month and the man accused of killing her. He later died in a confrontation with a state trooper. Detective Sergeant Tom Rajala of the Michigan State Patrol Post in Calumet, Michigan, identified the woman as 23-year-old Chelsea Lafreniere of Baraga. Soon after the stabbing, police were alerted to watch for Raymond Daniel Kijuan Silas of Baraga. Rajala tells the Mining Journal of Marquette the 23-year-old Silas called several people and told them what he had done. A trooper spotted Silas's pickup on US 41 and Silas eventually crashed into another vehicle. Troopers say he ignored commands and was shot when lunging toward a police officer. Menominee activist Ada Deer, who led the Bureau of Indian Affairs during the Clinton administration from 1993 to 1997, is challenging the overburdened U.S. prison system. There are 2.3 million Americans in prisons compared to 800,000 in Russia, and people of color are disproportionately represented in the prison population here. Though 12% of the general population is black, almost 50% of prisoners are of African American descent. Native Americans represent less than 1% of the population, but make up more than 4% of the inmate population. Deer wonders why Wisconsin imprisons so many people when a neighboring state like Minnesota has a prison population less than half of Wisconsin. Deer finds that appalling. Attempting to crack the prison industrial complex, Deer points toward former Wisconsin Governor Tommy Thompson as the reason for the growth of prisons in Wisconsin. Deer says, Mr. Thompson, our former governor, put a premium on building prisons and building highways. So these are two of his legacies we are utilizing at this point. I should say, we're all stuck with the prisons, unquote. Deer says the Wisconsin is hell-bent on revenge, but not rehabilitation. Corey Holliday almost didn't see the stick figure painted on the sandstone. His first impression was that it was a clever fake. A cave specialist for the Tennessee chapter of the Nature Conservancy, Holliday was searching for caves on a 4,200-acre tract in a remote part of Fentress County on the Cumberland Plateau. It was winter and he heard water. Thinking there might be a cave nearby, he hiked down to the base of a bluff where he discovered a rock alcove bisected by a 10-foot waterfall. On the roof of a nearby south-facing rock shelter was a foot-long painting of a dancing stick figure. The left leg appeared misshapen and the right hand resembled a claw. Sprouting from the head were swirly lines. To Holliday, they looked like antennas. The Nature Conservancy had purchased the large forested block near the East Fork of the Obi River for $4.7 million in the year 2006, primarily because it is rich in caves. The rock shelter painting came as a complete surprise. For the last 15 years, several groups have been surveying prehistoric rock art throughout the Southeast and in Tennessee in particular. Since then, they have discovered prehistoric rock art inside at least 48 Tennessee caves. The Foxwood Resort Casino's gaming chips are going high-tech. The Eastern Connecticut Entertainment Complex is phasing out the 49 different sets of old chips and replacing them with new discs, each embedded with tiny radio frequency computer chips and bearing individual serial numbers. They say that helps the casino keep tabs on the chips and cuts back on counterfeiting attempts. 2 million new computerized chips have already been implemented since the opening of the MGM Grand at Foxwoods last May. They have a similar design, Foxwoods on one side and either MGM or the WPT World Poker Room logo on the other side. More commemorative chip designs are possible in the future, Foxwood spokesmen say. Residents across Florida gathered this last weekend to reenact one of the largest Indian battles fought east of the Mississippi River. The Florida Seminole tribe restaged the Christmas Day 1837 Battle of the Lake Okeechobee battle in the new state park dedicated to that same battle. More than 5,000 people attended last year. The reenactment has been held sporadically over the years to help raise money to purchase the land on which the battle was fought. Doctors at the Children's Hospital at the OU Medical Center in Oklahoma City say formerly conjoined twins separated by surgery 2 weeks ago are making progress in their recovery. The condition of Presley Faith Wells was upgraded late last week from critical to serious condition. Her twin, Kaylee Hope Wells, remains in critical condition, and both are still in the hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. The twins were born October 25th to 20-year-old Stevie Stewart of Calumet and are believed to be the first American Indian conjoined twins born. They were separated during more than a 3-hour surgery on January 19th of this year. It's time to stop dissing the dog. That's the message that an inquisitive kindergartner brought to her teacher more than 2 years ago when she wanted to know why Alaska, the state that has a fondness for most things canine, didn't have an official state dog. She even offered up her own personal choice, the Alaskan Malamute. The youngster's idea and the hard work of other students inspired a bill that, if passed, would make the Alaskan Malamute the official state dog. The large, rugged dogs with super thick coats suited for Arctic climates would join the list of other official state symbols. Representative Berta Gardner of Anchorage is sponsoring the bill in the House. Gardner is asking for a quick hearing so that the children can see the rewards of their hard work soon, she said. The Alaskan Malamute is one of the oldest Arctic sled dogs. They were named after a native tribe, the Malamutes, that settled along the shores of Kotzebue Sound in northwestern Alaska. The dogs were used primarily to haul game, belongings, and supplies. The breed was recognized by the AKC in 1935. And that's the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank our underwriters for helping us with this broadcast and our digital mall partners, powwows.com, nativeview.com, nishtv.com, and last week I said wellbriety.com, but the Wellbriety movement is actually at www.whitebison.org. We want to thank you for joining with us today and stop by again soon.